Hello, my nerdlings! If you're new here, my name is Nikki. Welcome to my channel where we get nerdy. Today, I wanted to do my top 10 from 2024. So these books are sort of in order. Like, I like the order I have them in, so we'll go from number 10 to number 1. I do have some honorable mentions, but I let people borrow those books, so I don't have them to hold up. Definitely first honorable mention is Pucking Around by Emily Rath. It's a reverse harem / why choose hockey romance that I absolutely loved. It was such a great story. So that was that's my first honorable mention. Second honorable mention was Praise by Sarah Kate. That is a billionaire age gap ex-boyfriend's father romance. Fair warning going into that, do check trigger warnings because that is about a BDSM club. So just so everyone's aware. But let's get down into it. All right, so book number 10. I'm going with Swift and Saddled by Lila Sage. This is about a girl, what's her name? Ada Hart. Ada is an interior designer that failed out of her program after a really short disaster of a marriage, and she has a huge following on social media, and she gets hired to go to this ranch called Rebel Blue Ranch to help turn an old family home into a bed and breakfast. And she runs into Weston Ryder. He ends up being the one she works with to transform Rebel Blue Ranch. And it's just, I loved this. It was the second book, and I read this in like no time flat. Let's see, I can tell you how many pages it was. 285. So a nice short cowboy romance that still was packed with drama. There was spice, and I loved this book. So, book number 10. Book number 9 was Behind the Net by Stephanie Archer. This is a first book in a series. I don't own the rest of the series, but I do want to get it. It's a funny story. A student bought me this because she knows I like hockey romances. Had I known this was spicy, I probably would not have accepted it I definitely would not have accepted it from her. Like, let's be honest. This is about Jamie, who is an NHL goalie that has the rule of no dating. His mom is having, I want to say, medical issues and whatnot, so he is more worried about taking care of his mom than dating. Like, he is completely sworn off women. In comes Pippa, and Pippa was working in the music industry, helping her ex write songs and everything, and then they had a really messy breakup. And so for a job, Pippa applies to be this NHL goalie's personal assistant and whatnot, not realizing it's her high school crush. Yep, you heard that. It was the guy she crushed on all through high school that she didn't think would give her the time of day. So that's the basis of it. Like, I don't want to tell you more because if I keep going, I'm going to give you spoilers. But yeah. Like, it's not even a second chance romance because they never had a thing in high school, but like, it was so good. Then number 8 would be The Dare by Elle Kennedy. This is the 4th book in the Briar U series. So Off Campus is following one group of friends. Briar U is following like the next, not the next generation. Like these guys showed up off campus. They were just like a couple grades younger. Briar U is a college in Boston, supposedly, in Massachusetts, supposedly. And in this one, you have, what's her name? I can't remember her name. I know his name. His name's Connor. What's her name? Taylor. Right. Okay. So Taylor is the female. Connor is the male. Taylor is a bigger girl. And she is part of Kappa Chi, which is a sorority. The sorority girls dare her to do something. Seduce the hottest hockey player in the junior class. That was the dare. And cue Connor Edwards. But if I remember correctly, Taylor was a virgin, so she was like completely lost. But to save Taylor from humiliation, Connor takes her to his room, and like they just fake moan, they shake the bed, like they pretend to be having intercourse so that it's not a complete shit show, like, so she's not embarrassed. And then they like fake date for a little bit, but of course, like per usual, fake dating doesn't stay fake dating. So that was book number 8. Book number 7 was my first book in this genre. Introduced me to some new things. If you know, you know. But it came highly recommended, and that is Bride by Ali Hazelwood. This is a paranormal romance between an arranged marriage between the princess of the vampires and the powerful daughter of the vampire councilman. She's the princess, essentially. And the alpha werewolf. It's supposed to be like this political thing. But Misery is the name of the female. I can't remember his name. Low. Misery has her own reasons to agree to this marriage of convenience, reasons that have nothing to do with politics or alliances and everything to do with the only thing she's cared about, and she is willing to do whatever it takes to get back what's hers. This is it's paranormal Romeo and Juliet between vampires and werewolves, and I absolutely loved it. Lowe is a fantastic book boyfriend. I want a book 2 in this series. Miss Hazelwood, get on it. I need that cliffhanger. Well, it's not really a cliffhanger. How you ended it, page 396. That scene, I need expanded on. Please. I need a book 2. Okay? It is spicy, but it is a fantastic book. I really enjoyed it. It was my first werewolf romance. Like, I've read vampire ones before, but it was my first like shifter Omegaverse type, and really enjoyed it. I've read some more since then because of this, and I can't wait to read some more. So number 6 is Hopeless by Elsie Silver. This is about Bo Eaton and Bailey Jensen. Bailey Jensen is younger than Bo. There is an age gap there. Bo is a military veteran, and his family owns, why can't I think of the name of the ranch? His family owns a ranch. Is it Chestnut Springs? Is that the actual name of the ranch? Whatever. This is the last book in the Chestnut Springs series. Bo is a military veteran that seems like the life of the party, but honestly has some PTSD that he needs to cope with. Bailey Jensen is the girl that she's kind of like the outcast in town, not because of her choices, but because it's one of those stigma things. Like, her dad and her brother are like horrible people, so everyone treats Bailey like shit, thinking she's a horrible person as well, when she's actually a fantastic person. I absolutely love Bailey. She was one of my favorite heroines for the entire year. So he's 35, she's 22. So we have an age gap. We have a 13-year age gap. And it all starts with a bet. Beau bets her that, it starts out with a bet, a point for Beau to prove, and it's a win-win. Beau gets a break from his concerned family's prying, and Bailey gets a chance to shed her family's reputation and save up to ditch the small town for good. A lot of places won't hire Bailey because of her family's reputation, so they do a fake engagement so that Beau's family will leave him alone because they're concerned about him, and so that Bailey can get more jobs in town so that she can save up to skip town. But of course, just like fake dating, a fake marriage engagement never ends the way they plan it to. Now we're on to our top 5. One of these I have talked about already in like a recent video, so fair warning. And I like, even looking at this stack, I'm not sure if I want to swap book 5 and book 4. But book 4 I've reread. So. Alright, yeah, I'll keep it the way. But I've gone back and read certain scenes in book 5. Just not the whole book. Nope, we'll keep it the way it is. Book 5 is King of Wrath by Anna Huang. This is following Dante Russo, who, oh my god, I love Dante. And Vivian Lau. Vivian Lau's family owns, a jewelry store or something? But they're new money, where Dante is old money. So there's like this, Vivian's family isn't as accepted into society as Dante's family. And Dante is like the most eligible bachelor. He's got big money. His bank account be big. But Vivian's dad blackmails Dante into this fake engagement. Yup. And Dante's like, I'll use this to get closer with the dad, to get the evidence that he has on me so that I can, like, destroy it and I can break off this engagement and I'm not gonna be tied down, kind of thing. Vivian, no clue about this. She has no clue. Her dad is blackmailing Dante, right? So she's just, I don't know why I'm in this engagement. Like, I know why I'm in this engagement because of, to advance her family's position in society. But she doesn't know that Dante's using her. And she doesn't know that her dad is, like, a dick, right? But, of course, again, fake engagement does not stay fake because they fall for each other. Shocker. I think all of these are happy endings because I'm a hopeless romantic. Book number 4. Ugh. Is He's Not My Type by Megan Quinn because Halsey Holmes. I love Halsey Holmes. Halsey Holmes is a black cat kind of hockey guy. Like, on the ice, he is like the top scorer in the NHL. He's a fantastic center. Like, he does his job. Blake Lively is the VIP relations manager for the Vancouver Agitators, and Halsey has a huge crush on Blakely, but Blakely's dating somebody. Fast forward a little bit, Blakely's boyfriend breaks up with her, and this is not a spoiler, it's on the back. Blakely's boyfriend breaks up with her, because, well, it was like a mutual breakup. You find out that her boyfriend took a job in Australia without like discussing it with her or anything, and she doesn't want to leave her job. She really loves Vancouver. She loves what she does with the agitators. She has amazing friends. She's built a life. She doesn't want to leave. Well, after a series of unfortunate events, Blakely ends up needing somewhere to stay, and the meddlesome Levi Posey, one of the other hockey players, says, you can stay at Halsey's house. He has an extra room, and he really could use someone to look after his plants while he's gone on away trips. So she moves in, and there's a whole plan of how to break Blakely. Well, not like literally break her, but like how to make Blakely fall in love with Halsey. And it is the cutest story ever. I absolutely love Halsey Holmes. He is my favorite of Megan Quinn's heroes so far. And I've read 12 of her books. He does have some trauma that he needs to work through, and I think because I have a similar trauma that, like, I resonate with him. So there's that. Book number 3. This honestly might be a shocker to some people, might not to others, and that is Haunting Adeline by H.D. Carlton. This is the first book in the Mouse and Cat duology. This ends on a major cliffhanger, so you're like, why would this be your first book? I don't know. Like, I don't know why this is my favorite out of the duology. You think the one where we aren't left hanging as to what the fuck is gonna happen, but this is about, what's her name? Well, it's Adeline something, and Zade. Zade Meadows is his name. I just can't remember Adeline's name. But it boils down to Adeline is an author, and she just inherited her family's old Gothic mansion, and so she goes and moves in. But she has a book signing, and while at this book signing, this man named Zade Meadows sees her and immediately becomes obsessed, and he stalks her. But the thing with Zade, and you're kind of hesitant because, like, he's a stalker, he can't be that good of a guy, but Zade is kind of like a Dexter character in the sense that his life's work is to bring down human sex trafficking. So there is tough themes in this book. Trigger warnings. I'll read you them. The contents are very dark with triggering situations such as non-consensual, dubious consent between the main characters, graphic violence, human trafficking, stalking, child trafficking, child sacrifice, mentions of child death, explicit sexual situations. There are also particular kinks such as gunplay, somnophilia, bondage, and degradation. This is not for the faint of heart. I will tell you that. Be aware your mental health matters, but I don't know what it was, but this honestly helped me process some stuff, like some trauma. As weird as it sounds, it helped me process some. Zade's absolutely fantastic. Adeline, I didn't like her in different parts. She seemed kind of whiny, but whatever, I'll take it. But H.D. Carlton handles the sensitive topics in this book really, really, really fucking well. And then the spice, that spice be spicing. Like, there's some scenes that are like ghost pepper level spice. So, that's book number 3 for this year. Book number 2 is kind of controversial because I know people that have read it and they hated it. But it had what I needed, right? and that is Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. This is the second book in the Empyrean series. You're following Violet Sorrengail and her mother, making her join the Dragon Rider Quadrant, and versus going into being a scribe. Like, she was originally going to be like the history taker and, you know, preserve books and all that stuff. Nope, mom's like, just kidding, you're joining the Rider Quadrant and you're gonna be a dragon rider or you die. Like, that's, no child of mine's gonna be a scribe. And you follow her on her adventure through the Basgiath War College and all of that. Iron Flame is the second book. She's still in Basgiath. Like, that's not a shocker, right? But this had a lot of world building in it that I wanted in book one. Book one was action scene after action scene, like, just about survival. This, I learned so much more about the world that this takes place in, and it had that lore. It built everything for me, and I absolutely loved it. I've reread both Fourth Wing and Iron Flame in anticipation for the release of Onyx Storm on the 21st of this month. Not that I'm counting. I've already pre-ordered it. I'm going to the midnight release and everything. So, and I've ordered I've bought 2 audiobooks. One on Audible, one on Libro FM, so that because my husband also enjoys this series, so that he can listen to one, I can listen to the other, and not have to wait for the other one to finish. So, absolutely love this series. I have so many fan theories in my noggin that I just can't wait. And then, my number 1 book of the year. This may come as a shock, but that is The Games Gods, Play by Abigail Owen. This is about a young woman that, what's her name? I'm terrible with names, guys. Like, you can ask my students. It takes me forever to learn their names. Shit. What is her name? Lyra. There we go. This is about Lyra, and Lyra is cursed by Zeus. First off. Second, she is, she's cursed by Zeus. She's an orphan. Like, she just has a shit life, right? And then one day, Hades, of all fucking gods, decides that he's going to he's volunteering her to be his pick for the Crucible. The Crucible is a event that happens every 100 years where the Greek gods take these people and have them fight for them. The winner becomes the king of the gods, and the person that fights for them gets a boon, right? So, like, at first, she does not want to participate, because we're looking at, like, some Hunger Games Divergent type shit. People die a lot in these trials, and so she doesn't really want to participate, but she kind of has no choice, because Hades is making her, right? And let's see. So why in the underworld did Hades choose me, a sarcastic nobody with a curse on her shoulders, as his champion? And why does my heart trip every time he says I'm his? I don't know if I'm a pawn, bait, or something else entirely to this dangerously tempting god. How can I, when he has more secrets than stars in the sky? Because Hades is playing by his own rules, and death will win at any cost. So, the reason Hades wants to partake is because he not only becomes the king of the gods, but he has a reward, and there's something he needs, and it's not something that's taken lightly. So, it's a fantasy romance. It's a little bit of a slow burn, but we love this series. Book 2 is coming out in September, and I've already pre-ordered it, and I can't wait. Absolutely love the series. So, that was number 1 book of the series, of the year. Like, I want to reread this again this year. But I need to talk to Cliffy to make sure I can reread it and it still count to my reading goal. So, we'll turn this slightly. These are my 10 books that I would consider my number 1 reads for 2024. Like the video if you did. Comment down below what were some of the best reads you read in 2024. I could use some recs. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see more. And until next time, you are loved and you are valid.